obviously, I think everybody in there is proud of our team for bouncing back the way they did and just being resilient, showing up to work, and putting together a really good game, almost a complete game. Obviously, we penalized ourselves there at the end for them to score, but gutsy performances by a ton of guys. Obviously, Jakari got the start, did a lot of good things, and Jalen Knight ran really, really hard. Credit to the offensive line, down 3 or 4 starters and rushed the ball well, allowed 1 sack. And obviously, Cam Kitchens, I think he's had a school record of it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that will ever talk about when we make those decisions. I don't think it's fair to anybody in the process. But we knew this team coming in that they do a really good job knocking the ball out in the country. And if you watch his high school tape, he does a good job throwing it, he does a good job running it, and he runs it with power. Has great ball security, always has. So he did a real nice job today.
Mario, is it possible that the Cardinals started down the stretch?
Well, when you perform that well, that's always going to be the first question. I'm sure you guys had that one loaded and ready to fire out. He did a really good job tonight. So obviously he's a really, really good player. So he's earned a lot.
The physicality up front on the run game for you guys, just from the start, was there. That had to be nice to see.
Well, you got a lot of new starters up, right? You've got, you mentioned it, 3 or 4 offensive linemen that are new, right? We miss Elijah Arroyo, man. I mean, that guy's a really, really good football player. And, freshman quarterback on the road, it was going to be necessary to protect him, to get the ground game going, and part of the offensive line. And really the coaching staff putting together a game plan that allowed us to be successful and execute it really well.
How much does playing time allow you to add things to the offense, changes around? You've got a lot more speed than Jalen or Tyler.
Right. Well, when you watch film, you'll see the difference. It's a different game plan, right? I won't get into all the schematic stuff that's in there, right? We still got to prepare for future opponents and everything else, but he does a lot and he throws the ball really, really well. I think some of the throws that came out wrong were probably being a little bit nervous. Well, this is good to get a road game underneath his belt, make it a victory, and now improve from here.
You guys didn't have leading rusher in comparison. The way Jaden stepped up into that role tonight, can you speak to that?
Awesome job. And the best part about him is that, he has a lot of pride, and he fumbled right earlier this season. Everybody's all, well, play this, but no, let him earn it back, and he did it by spending a ton of time on ball security, running harder, understanding protection better. I don't think people realize how well he protected tonight as well. They brought corner fire, they brought Mike fire, they brought nickel fire, and he picked them all up, I believe, on the touchdown as well. So just really fired up about Rooster, in the way as we affectionately call him, the Rooster, right? About how he played tonight, but more importantly, how he approached adversity, because that's what our team needs to keep going. We've got to face this, our circumstances and adversity. We've got to face it and come out and just punch right back. So. He's unfazed. Yeah, he's unfazed. I mean, if you, again, take some time to watch his high school film. It was the same demeanor tonight. He's commanding presence, doesn't get phased, is physical, right? Made some really good throws. Thought that slant he threw in the first half on the 3rd down, it really sparked us to go down and score, was a really big throw as well. So he did a great job taking in the game plan, practicing well throughout the course of the week along with the other guys. And so he came out tonight and he showed it, 7 for 12 on 3rd down, putting ourselves in good and manageable 3rd down situations certainly helped as well. He's improving. He's improving, getting better and better. He's on track to come back and be able to play. You guys love those medical reports, boy.
Cam Kitchens, I mean, his night is just
3 interceptions.
Yeah, one of them 99 yards.
Well, he's trying to score on the onside kick too now. Yeah. He got the appetite for getting in the end zone. So that guy, if you walk into our facility throughout the course of the week, at night, late into the night, he'll be there just watching, studying, bringing in guys with him. He's exactly what you want on your football team. And all that stuff pays off, man. People forget he's only a sophomore, okay? He's only a sophomore, but he does a great job. He took a shot to the shoulder, shrugged it off, came right back in, and kept going. Just an absolute stud.
You started off, praising
the game before, how they kind of bounced back after the FSU loss. I mean, how did they do that? I guess because it's easy to say just put it behind you, but it's a tough loss. It's hard to shake off.
You do it with reality, you know, in a world where everybody's always head faking and BS, and we just do it with reality. We just talk about the facts. We didn't play well last week. We didn't, and we allowed ourselves to get in a hole, and we didn't shake ourselves out of it. Can't do anything about that anymore. Got to wait till next year for that game. What we could do is show up to practice on Tuesday and show up to meetings early and get to work on the things that allow us to get better. And if you sugarcoat that, you're setting yourself up for disaster. So we won't do that. We're developing, we're growing as a football program, we're building, and that's a really nice way to take a step in the right direction by the way the guys responded and played tonight.
And then Taylor, I saw that he was sitting on the bench. He did a big part for you guys. How worried are you about him?
I wasn't during the game. I thought he was good to go, but apparently, you know, got nicked up early on his ankle, so we went with the other guys.
And Lou Headley had 5 punts.
Monster. Lou Headley's a monster. He is a monster. I don't know if anyone's ever referred to a punter as a monster, but that guy. Well, and then we almost had the other one down at the 1 yard line too that slipped out of our hands. But watch how he does it. You know, it's hard to tell where he's going to put the ball because he could roll both ways. He could kick it right. He could kick it left. He's a directional kicker that could do it stationary or on the run, and he's like a pitching wedge when you're there in that pooch area, you know, where he could put it down there, and you know he does all that. You know, I don't know. He learned that somewhere. You know, about bounces the right way for us.
Big picture wise, you guys obviously a win away from getting the bowl game. The importance of that, do you stress it at all with these guys?
We stress every game as being the most important game we play. I think some things that are obvious, you let them take care of themselves a little bit, but I think it's important to note that that team was coming off a big victory, and that team was also fighting for victory number 5. And a lot of respect for them and their coaches and their players. Obviously, you know, a lot of them throughout the years haven't recruited those things, but all focus on us just getting better. You know, today was a really nice step in that direction.